Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. Stocks, Futures, and Forex Market Preview for the week beginning Sunday the 10th of September, ending Friday the 15th. A couple things here. Obviously, Monday is 9/11. It's been 22 years since 9/11, but obviously a big day in New York, so sometimes it slows things down a bit. People going to the memorial and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. The other thing to keep in mind is that the first of the month was a Friday, so the 15th, this Friday coming up, is already the third Friday, which makes this options expiration. And we have already rolled our futures contracts to December at this point in time. So we're now trading the December contracts. I haven't adjusted that in some of these charts, but we'll do that shortly. And that's where we're at. So futures contract roll is over. Options triple expiration is Wednesday going into Thursday. One of those 2 days should be the big unravel, and then Friday is usually dead for options expiration, as triple expirations are. All right, here's the dollar index daily chart. As you can see, not much here. New highs ish, but this thing's been so ridiculously flat for a while, and I don't even know what to tell you about this. Like the Forex stuff has just been so slow. We got through the Forex stuff first because whatever, it just gets out of the way, but it's not very interesting here. Here's the pound dollar, did make new lows for the last 2 months here last week. Euro dollar is also down. We got the pound yen holding up very flat. The ES, now here's the stocks, ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market futures form. So yeah, we've got mid-range for the last 3 months. Not a lot going on. No signals, no chart patterns, no technicals to really work with from that perspective. There's a static trend line at 43.0525. In case we get there, the S&P cash looks about the same, obviously as it should. The Nasdaq 100, not much different either, sitting where it was 2-3 months ago. So we haven't really gone anywhere in a bit. I mean, we're closer to highs for the year, but not really anything specific. Russell 2000 did dip this week, back down after a good Monday and then, good prior week, and then came down Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Crude oil, on the other hand, hitting up to 87.51, finally getting out of this range. There was a cup and handle it broke out of, so that looks interesting. And then gold, back near lows. So the inflation stuff seems to be subsiding, as we know, and it is what it is. All right. Sorry. Did that wrong? Okay, so now we go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin sitting at basically 26,000, just under it. It hasn't gone anywhere in a while. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF. Nothing here. Let's just throw this up real quick. I just want to see it. Usually I like to have this on here anyways, but it's not. But if we just go here and here and here, there's no counts. There's no secret counts on the daily chart here, so there's nothing really to hang your hat on. Obviously bonds down, rates up, and we're closer to the lows. So that's it. The VIX closes though at 1384, so the markets are not volatile right now, and we like the volatility, so we like to see that back up over 18 plus. This is not a fun time for the market. Summer's never fun, and if you look at the VIX, look what happened at the beginning of June. This dropped under 15 and basically sat there. There was a little excitement in August, and I always talk about August has the potential, but then it fell right back off. And now we're sitting here in September. We're past Labor Day. We're into the start of summer, and there's just not much going on. The advanced decline ratio on the New York, there you go. Trend closes at 1.03, closes at more like 0.85, puts the 10-day moving average at 1.03, and that's not under the 0.85 threshold. That would be a sell signal. Here's the last week. Now remember Monday. So you can see the prior Thursday, end of the day, Friday, and then Monday was a holiday, so that's why you get like the condensed nothing there. Tuesday pretty flat, Wednesday gap down and went a little lower, Thursday gap down and came back to fill the gap, Friday dead as some of these are, and then the Nasdaq 100, kind of the same thing, not much there. Sorry, that's not what we're supposed to be looking at. Okay, if we go through some of these stocks, so we got Apple sitting on a static trend line, had made crawled up and then gave back, maybe 25% of it. Amazon still hanging near the recent highs. Meta still hanging near the recent highs. There's no signals, no chart patterns on any of these. Google even stronger than most, very much close to new highs. Goldman Sachs, a little weaker, kind of in the lower half of the range for the last 6 months, but it never really had the climb that some of the others do. Netflix, not much there. Tesla, not much there. There's no signals on any of these right now. Not even close. NVIDIA, again, closer to the highs, but it is what it is. And then Zoom, this is not bad. I mean, this looks like it could break out. We'll watch this one and maybe have a trade call on this in the coming days and weeks. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, not a lot of excitement here in the markets. Now, let's talk a little bit about the economic data. Again, we're on to the December contracts now. And so Monday here in the U.S., no data, no economic data. Tuesday, NFIB Small Business Index at 6 a.m. and the 10-year bond auction at 1 p.m. So nothing there that matters. There is the unemployment rate out of the UK on Tuesday, going into Tuesday morning here in the U.S. But on Wednesday, we have the CPI at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. That's a big one. That's one of our big three. I would say we'd be half size for Forex, but we're already half size, so it'd be less because it's just so slow in this time of year. Crude oil at 10:30, 30-year bond auction at 1, federal budget balance at 2. The U.S. dollar at the PPI and core retail sales. I'm sorry, the U.S. has the hotels. Let me do that again. Sorry, retail sales PPI at 8:30 a.m. on Thursday. The weekly initial and continuing jobless claims numbers. Natty gas at 10:30. I mean, again, none of these are major numbers. The CPI is probably the biggest one just because we always like to watch the inflationary stuff. And then on Friday, here in the U.S., Empire State Manufacturing Index, import-export prices, that's an hour before the bell. Industrial production capacity utilization at 9:15 and preliminary University of Michigan sentiment at 10. That is it. So, okay, that's it. It's not a big week except for maybe the CPI for data, and we'll just see what happens. Starts as usual, brought to you by NinjaTrader. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week.